Republic, Amsterdam, Paris. I've been a lot of places around the world,
Dubai.
and I was made a chief. Yeah, Dubai twice. I was made a chief, and I was made a chief in Akwa Ibom.
I've seen that.
The king of Abino land, and so we're gonna make me a chief, and he named me Iggy by one. It means the rock that cannot possibly be moved from Jehovah's purpose.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So, thank you. Yeah, so we've got some things that we're going to get done now, and exceedingly excited about what's happening because with Gandalf Motorsports there in Indianapolis, we're actually got a 50,000 car purchase order coming. They're building some housing and things like that, and they're going to employ a lot of people. And for those folks that get a house, they're going to get a Mims Motor vehicle. And so they are getting that documentation together now, and going to be putting forth some things to really help the community. And we're really excited about that. In addition to the purchase orders and things like that we'll have with our dealerships. So we've got some really awesome stuff that's going to be coming into to play. And, even with Auto Parker, just even our dealerships are going to be designed different. If you guys have seen the Carvana sites where it looks like a gumball machine. We're partnered with our Auto Parker.
Oh, wow.
And that's the
awesome.
company that builds that. So our dealerships will look like that. When you see that, you'll know that's an official Mims Motor dealership. Some of them won't have that at the beginning, but that's our goal is to have that to be a full service experience. So when you come in, you got the cars all lined up, and you can pick what you want, and it'll slide down and slide out to you, and you go on about your business.
Right. That is awesome, man. That is awesome. So I have questions for you. I've heard that your vehicles, your electrified vehicles, are 100% recyclable. So can you give us details from top to bottom? How they're recyclable? What materials are they? And even the tires. So go right ahead.
Yeah, that's on the premium line vehicles. We've got some proprietary technologies that we're working with that when it comes down to it, basically, it's all natural systems and fibers that we work with. We do a lot of carbon capture technologies with our sister companies, and what we're able to do is create clean energy. And we do a carbon capture on that clean energy so that we are able to make the materials that we have that are necessary. And then with the proprietary blends on those, we're able to make different materials out of that. So you'll have all natural plastics, all natural carbon fibers and things like that that we'll have in those systems. One of the things that we're able to do is we'll be able to make the tires out of carbon black. That's one of the main materials that, you make your tires out of. So, the tires will be 100% recyclable. Your rims, everything else on the premium vehicles will be basically from the ground up 100% recyclable. So you'll be able to take that vehicle at the end of its service life, which will be over 1 million miles, and stick it in the ground, and basically it'll grow more hemp. It'll dissolve. It'll fully break down and be able to be useful again. And that's exceedingly important because when we look at some of the other materials that are being manufactured or strip mined, it's not sustainable. I've been saying that for years. We're looking at and it's funny because when I looked at the systems that were there, our proprietary technology takes into consideration all of the issues that we see or that we saw in the beginning. We saw that, when as we were discussing before the show started, pandemic, really changed the landscape.
Yeah.
Because we saw what happened when we stopped driving fossil fuel vehicles. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the sound of a monster V8 and the scream of a V10 and V12 motor and things like that. But when it comes down to commuter vehicles, when it comes down to trucks, when it comes down to something that's not really, for the thrill of it, so to speak, I feel that those vehicles should be electric. And, not only just electric utilizing, lithium or things like that, that's a rare earth metal. Cobalt, magnesium, those things are poisonous, and how do we get those materials? Sometimes we look at things and we don't see, and when we say we don't see what's going on, we tend to think that, okay, well, that's not harmful because we don't see it. Yeah. But what's the material that's being utilized in order to get that? What is the systems that we're creating in order to create the electricity to power our vehicles? All of that stuff, we have to go through the entire chain and look at the entire chain from start to finish and from finish to start, so that when we get the end result is what we want. Because when we looked at what happened at pandemic, you could see Mount Kilimanjaro, you could see the Himalayas, you could see, the lakes cleaned up, the earth has tremendous healing powers. And it cleaned itself up, very, very quickly. It didn't. I mean,
it was very quickly.
We put decades of damage to this planet, and once we stopped damaging it, it started healing itself. Yeah, and right. So as we went back, it's like you can't unsee that. You know what I mean? It's a situation where you can't unsee that, and it's something that I saw when I was a kid. I remember asking my dad, that he's, Dad, where does the smoke go? He said it goes into the air. I'm like, don't we breathe the air? He says, just go ask your mother. You know what I mean? It's a situation where, again, there was that kind of mindset that, hey, it's done. I can't do anything about it. What do we do? Most people don't think twice about it because, hey, I need gas in my car to get where I need to go. But at the end of the day, we need to make adjustments so that we can do something better. But when we're doing something better, just because it works doesn't mean that it's the best way to do it. We need to look at everything and make sure that the systems that we're putting in place are actually doing what we needed to do.
I would like to ask you, how are the cars, your vehicles, get charged or get powered? Now, if any person that purchases any of your vehicles, do they have to install some type of technology inside their garage to charge up the vehicle?
The only one that they'll have to do that on is the lithium units. We just released the lithium E7, and it's kind of funny to say that, about, I'm talking bad about lithium and cobalt and all that stuff, but that's just a limited run. And the reason why we're doing a limited run is to get folks relief on the current gas prices. With fuel going kind of crazy and things like that. We haven't gotten to EPA approval on our proprietary technology. Our proprietary technology, they do not have to have that. For the lithium E7, they will be able to purchase the charger, in-home charger, or use the supercharger network in order to recharge the vehicle. And that's an important distinction between the two. The lithium E7 only has a range of 260 miles. The Wi-Fi enabled black box technology systems that we have in our premium vehicles and our E-line vehicles that says Wi-Fi. If it says Wi-Fi recharge, then those vehicles actually will be able to go up to 1,000 miles, recharge in 5 minutes, they'll be able to not go into a charging station for 24 months, 2 years, or 24,000 miles.
I want one now.
Well, we're working on that, and those will be out pretty soon. And like I said, that goes back again to that difference between 2.3 million and 2.8 billion.
Yeah.
It takes a lot longer to get the money up necessary to do all the testing and everything else that has to be done.
Yeah.
So that's why it's taken so long for us. A lot of people thought that we were blowing smoke, and it's just like, no, we simply didn't have the money necessary to get it done. So we had to walk it down, and there's a difference between somebody getting on a spaceship and flying off, versus us, having to walk where we need to go. And we had to walk it down. And we picked up a lot of stuff on the way, and that's why, those premium vehicles are going to be 100% recyclable. That's why, the system will go 24,000 miles before you have to go into service it for, full service overhaul. That's why you get 1,000 miles and recharge in 5 minutes. That's why those vehicles are going to have so much more technology and things in it because, when we looked at everything, that's why the car is 100% recyclable. You look at the situation, like when I went to Africa, I'm looking at the open sewers and everything else that's going on over there, and you say, okay, in America, we sit back and say, oh, they got dysentery, they got yellow fever, they got malaria, they got this and this and this, all these, so many diseases, airborne diseases. Why don't they just do X, Y, and Z? Yeah. They can't. You know what I mean? The infrastructure is not there, and it's not a situation where somebody can just sit there and say, okay, well, I've figured out what's wrong. I'm going to do something about it. They don't have the infrastructure to fix it. Yeah. So when we went over there and looked at the situation, you see what's happening. It's like you got some incredibly smart people over there. I mean, the only thing they need in order to be, get out of, third world status is, clean water, clean energy, and clean infrastructure. You put the infrastructure in there, you got some extremely smart people over there that can, take the ball and run from there. Yeah. So, when we look at everything, it's like this is, the world is interconnected, and we have to make sure that we're doing everything that we possibly can to help the world. And it's not about the money. It's about doing something differently, because every time that people sit back and put money above people, then, people suffer. And, we have to look at the situation and make it better, for everybody. So, people get mad at me all the time and tell me, hey, you know what, you could have done this or you could have done that. You could have sold out. You had this opportunity and so on and so forth, and you gave it up. Well, you know what, it gets painful sometimes because, I'm human and I'm worried about stuff. I got, I'm trying to take care of things, and I don't want people yelling at me because it's not done yet. I don't want that, but at the end of the day, you gotta, I'm trying to make a sacrifice to do what's right and trying to do the best I can to strike the balance. You know what I mean?
How do you feel being a black man having this technology in the vehicles, these electrified vehicles you have? How does that make you feel? Does it make you feel like you're alone in the world, or alone just for the black community? How does it make you feel?
Weird, because like you said, it's when I look at the whole situation. Okay, if I was a rapper or a ball player or something like that, that's something that everybody sees. And because they see that, they're so common. Used to it. Yeah, it's common. So it's like, okay, if you got the skill set, hey, it's a great thing, and people support you. But when it comes down to me, it's so far out of the realm. Most people, when they hear me say, hey, I'm a car manufacturer, they say, oh, you got a car dealership? Yeah. Like, no, I'm a car manufacturer. What dealership do you have? I'm a car manufacturer. What dealership do you have? Do you sell Dodges? You sell, Mercedes? What do you sell? Mims Motors. What's that? Is that a division of Mims? Is that a division of Dodge? Is that a Ford? Or is it an American company? It's like, no, it's my company. It's named after my dad. What do you mean? You got a dealership? You're like, no, I build cars. I design and build electric cars. And they look at you like you got a horn growing out of your head, you know what I mean? And that monkey just flew out your butt. It's like, what?
Oh, my God. So I'd like to ask you, is your technology going to help with the trucks and school buses, city buses? Have y'all had that in mind as a future project?
Yes, we actually have systems. The efficiencies and the systems that have been designed are basically designed to incorporate anything that moves, anything that requires energy, anything that needs, clean water or anything like that. So from planes, trains, and automobiles, boats, ships,